Ciao, hello there everyone, this is Chillainous, welcome back to Minecraft mod pack Stoneblock4. Been doing a lot of general cleaning up since the last episode. All of our energized stuff is now downstairs. Just need to figure out how to get the auto crafting sorted for all this. Upstairs, I've added a growth accelerator to the flawless Certus quartz with our Fortune 15 pickaxe, getting roughly 1 stack per harvest. All the drives over here have been changed to 64k drives, putting us at about 1.3 million items of storage. We're obviously nowhere close to filling that up. I also bought some delightful dirt and threw that into the mob farm. Speaking of that, I did remove the mob gooificator. In the edit of the video, I noticed that we were actually getting pink slime from these mobs here, so I decided to attach it back into the hostile mob farm, and as you can see, we have plenty now. And finally, I was watching someone else play, and they made this temporal pouch, which is essentially a time in a bottle. It saves your playtime and you can transfer it into blocks to make them work faster. Also got this repair talisman which restores 1 durability every 1 second, so there's really no need for mending. However, mending is still faster than the repair talisman. And even though we made this sword in the last episode, I've killed my sheep multiple times with it, so we're actually going to look into a new weapon. Disregard, we need to work on some more mods to make that work. This sword will do just fine for now. This isn't copium. I want to do something very fun today, and in the last episode we saw this end dungeon as we went to go fight the ender chicken. If you haven't seen that video, check the card up in the top right now. But it hit me that we had never even visited a nether dungeon, and I really need things like nether wart and the like. Plus it won't hurt to capture a few mobs, so we'll get some soul vials sorted. Let's get 10. There we go. And then let's head on out to the nether dungeon. Alright, this should be pretty easy. I forgot to bring torches. And there is our dungeon. I'll pick you up. We are playing on the highest world tier pinnacle, so the mobs are going to be quite strong. Kind of the reason why I wanted the red matter guitar, but we should be fine. We will also need to look for wither skeletons. You are also a good idea, thank you. Well, let's open up some loot. We got full throttle and nauseous carousel, so these ones here are going to move. Disregard. I have been teleported while doing the things. I have no idea where my loot chest was. I just realized that if I had a cardboard box or something, I probably could have picked up these spawners. Doing this dungeon is kind of making me realize how much I really want creative flight. Nether wart, bombs. Oh no, I'm not falling for this one again. That could be nice. Where are you all spawning from? Seriously, that is still spawning. A smithing template blaze. We'll take the golden apples. And nothing else is really taking my fancy in here. Maybe the crying obsidian. What the hell? The piglins disappear behind the shield. That's cheaty AF. So I literally just watched this spawner spawn right in front of my eyes. I think there's no getting around the fact that mobs are going to spawn regardless. Okay, I think I finally found my way across to where I was. While I'm here, I'll take some free loot. Fire gauntlet. Witch spawn egg, that could be cool. Take some of the warp nylium. Some of the vines. 2 of the mushrooms. Hello. Oh, Wither Skelly. Wither Skelly. Thank you. Hope I got that one. Yes, cool. We can now spawn Wither Skeletons. Alright, I see a super hard apothic mob in front of us. I am so glad in this moment that we have a sword that doesn't have durability, but we are so slow and this guy is so hard to see because of the increased field of view. Oh Jesus, we're gonna die. Fantastic. Okay, yep, that just happened. I thought that he would be gone. Nope. Gonna have to get some armor sorted. Another thought is that I just turn the world back to Haven and hopefully that will get rid of him. Never mind. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully this time we have enough health. That's all we need. How silly was I trying to think I could do that? Must be out of my mind. Oh, we also found some gas tiers. That is what I have been looking for. So we can upgrade our chickens. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit more nether wart. We'll get some wither skeleton skulls, although pretty soon we're going to have heaps of them. Crazy enough, I could beat the ender chicken. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this place. Let's just head home and take away the spoils that we have now. So tell me, chillers, was it stupid going up against that guy? Do you think I wasn't geared enough? I mean, I think I was geared enough. I just think I didn't have enough attack damage. However, we did walk away with some loot. I've cleared out most of the junk, although I realize now that I have missed some. We walk away with some blackstone, which would be very nice to decorate parts of the build with, as well as crying obsidian. We also got gas tiers and nether wart. They are big for progression. But of course, the big prize is the mobs. We can now make powered spawners with wither skeletons, magma cubes, blaze, and piglins. We should be able to also turn blaze into a power source, which should be pretty awesome. We'll see how that goes. So I've gone from having no plan for this episode to having a couple things we can do now. I love it when things like that come together. To get new chicken seeds, we're going to need Demon's Dream Fruit. Did a quest there as we start getting into occultism. That gives us a dictionary of spirits and Tudosh. Just need a place to put the spirit fires, so I'm going to put it here right next to the smeltery. There we go. Then we're going to get out a bunch of diorite and we're going to turn it into other rock. Might also be an idea to make a drawer for this stuff since we will have a lot. Alright, let's put some other rock into this advanced item filter. Then we will insert red. That should then begin filling this thing up with other rock. Yes. And because we don't get anything until the first guy is leveled up, I want to steal the dimensionalist from here and put him in here. And this guy here can just become a dimensionalist. Come on, buddy. What do you mean, no? Alright, this guy is seeing something down here and I'm unsure what it is. Okay, I don't know what that guy's obsession was with whatever was in the base, but we've come out here to the deep slate layer. And he's just walking back home. I guess for now that will have to wait. That's not our biggest problem here. Right now, we want replica. I actually don't really know much about the replication mod, so it might be worth looking into. However, we really just wanted these to make chicken seeds. Here you go, chicken seed, tier 6, 1000 XP per seed instead of 700. We then clear out all the crops and we begin growing tier 6 seeds. Kind of like the color of these ones actually. Slightly warmer wheat. Yeah, it's really nice. Let's put that block there and we'll grab back our Primogel. We can turn it straight into Blaze Bloom Goo. For the next one, we're going to need some Skulk. And I'm not sure how to get that other than going to a Warden. Oh wait, of course, the Deep Dark would have Skulk, wouldn't it? Anyway, this guy here is down for now. We'll have to go to the end one another time, I think. Yeah, let's try again with a different villager. Hopefully this one works. Hey, it worked straight away. Who would have guessed? Not this guy. And we'll put him in with the end stone. Next up is some powered spawners. I feel like this won't be overly hard. I do know that we do need a couple of machines for this. The first one will be the powered spawners themselves. I can think of 2 that we can put in right now. But then on top of that, we also need a soul binder to give the spawners the mobs that we want. There we go. There's a soul binder. We will then hook that up to power. I actually don't think I'll need it here in the autocraft section. I think we can just hook it into here because we won't really be using it a whole lot. Random phone call. Powered spawner. So we can actually autocraft everything here. We should just be able to hit start on everything and it shouldn't take very long. We're already all done. Powered spawner. In we go. Actually, wait, hang on. No, never mind. I did have it right. You need to use the powered spawner with the soul that you want. Put that one in. Put the wither skeleton in there. We do have 8 levels. What's stopping you now? To pump XP into this thing, and this was the first thing I thought of, which is the XP drain singularity tank. You should just be able to stand on it, and it's pumping the XP in there. Hey, there we go. There we go. Now have a wither skeleton powered spawner. So we're probably going to make a new offshoot of the tunnel here. I actually just want to put it in behind the sheep so that we have a glass wall facing outwards. Exactly like this. We'll probably move an enchanting room to in these sorts of areas. And then behind that, we can put in some dark glass or something. All right, from here, we're going to make 9x9 rooms. Actually, looking at it, we probably don't need this amount of space for the amount of powered spawners we'll be using. Maybe I centralize it up. Awesome, the room is all built out. Now all we have to do is find the center. I believe this is actually it. It feels pretty good. It actually looks good. I might have nailed that. All right, from here, I'm going to make a little bit of a rooftop access. We'll also have an elevator or something pushing us up into the ceiling for this. The spawner is now going to go down. I do want it kind of sitting off the roof. So maybe we put it down here. That should be, no, where the skeletons are taller than that. Now this thing's gonna have to be given a capacitor and some power. Capacitor, no problem. So I've decided to get these guys power by using ender cells. And I have the ender cell spirited ready and waiting to go here. It's gonna craft all the things there. But what I want to do is get some redstone conduits. I'm also going to need a handful of these. There's our ender cell as well. Man, I love auto crafting. It takes a hot sec to get it all together, but once it's done, man, it is incredible. We also have set up this area up here where we can do maintenance, pull all the levers, decide which mobs we want spawning, which and whatnot. First things first is getting the power down to the spawner itself. So we will start placing energy conduits, and then we'll also give it a redstone conduit. Just make sure that these are configured. I think we want output, not input. And because this is going to be wither skeletons, we're going to make that color black. We'll have to put in a little door or something here, or some ghost blocks. I forget what they're actually called, but we need the maintenance area behind here to see what these conduits are doing. And then on top of that, we can also place our ender cell in here. There we go, which is connected to our 60 million FE battery downstairs. And we can just attach the energy to that. I'm going to need to make a lever, and we'll actually put it right here in the middle. Never mind, we need the facade blocks first, or conduit facades. I'm unsure if facades themselves work. I feel like conduit facades might be the better idea here. This is not a want, this is actually a need. We need to be able to see inside the blocks as we are adjusting all the channels. You can do that with a Yeta wrench or holding another conduit. Whereas the conduit facades, you cannot see through. They just appear as a normal block. The conduit facades are going in the floor. I don't think we actually need to adjust anything here. Everything will be adjusted on the underside, so we don't have to worry about that. Then we bring out our conduit facade here. We will put the lever on that. Oh, that is gross, dude. I swear that never used to happen, but we will hold a conduit. We will input black, and that will be our wither skeleton lever. To get this guy going, it's as simple as providing it with redstone power. we're just going to go with a block. Next up is making some mob fans, and the mob fans will be placed in the floor. I don't think they can get away from them there, but we want to push them all the way into the wall, the glass wall, and then into the middle from there. I do it that way to create less upgrades. I'm working smarter, not harder. And looking at the upgrades, I will have to put 2 more fans in the back there. With a lever, I'm going to turn on this fan. We're going to figure out just how many upgrades we need here. So we're standing here, 1, 2, 3, 4 more should push us all the way to the edge. So we only need 12 pushing upgrades. That also means that we probably should be able to get pushed into the mob masher if I were to walk in here. Ow. Yes. Ow. If you've seen other parts of my base, you know that I like the look of the exposed cables. So we're actually going to put exposed cables everywhere in this base, connecting them up to the mob mashers. They should be working with a redstone signal. Might have to force these ones onto the blocks. All right, this system here isn't quite working, so I'll bring the cables down to this point and then pull them downwards into redstone torches using conduit facades. This will have to be configured on another block, so we lose 1 space, but this will be our fan switch. So we will set this one to gray. Conduit facades go on each of these blocks, and then a redstone torch on each of these, at which point the output will now be gray. This fan should now be off. Fantastic. Before we put in any further biddies here, we need to make sure that everything works. We need to make sure the light switches work, and we need to make sure the mob fan switches work. Right now, everything is off, so it should be easy to decide for what needs to be on. This one here should be the fans. All of them are going, all the lights are on. Let's turn off all the lights, and let's turn off the mob fans. This one is not quite set up right. This one is now set up right. So now all I need to do is put in a bunch of tinted glass into all the holes. I want no light leakage from upstairs, and that includes one right here as well. How beautiful is that? I mean, unfortunately, you're not really able to see too much of the conduits through this part here. Just the texture doesn't quite connect as nice, but you can see it very easily on the sides. We are also then going to put some tinted glass conduit facades here in the floor. You are really getting in my way, you know that? Right, so now if we turn these on, these off, should be dark with the fans running in there. That looks like that light is leaking through. I don't like that. Still maybe a bit bright, but much better. All right, test number 2. All the things on and off. The fact that they are right in there is much, much better. But we're still missing out on a few things here. We need sharpness upgrades, and we need a lot of them. Then, of course, we will need looting. That increases our chances of getting skulls. Probably could go beheading. Apologies, that was smite, so they're going to die even faster. All right, let's make some beheading upgrades now, and we'll also throw them in there. I'll turn on my backpack for now to suck up the items while we're doing this testing, but we will actually put in absorption hoppers and a small storage for these guys as well. Next up for extraction, we will put swords in there. We will allow the list. We'll ignore the components. We'll ignore the damage. We don't really need to worry about that. This filter goes into extract, and that gets thrown in there. We'll then get a drawer set up for these guys here that will fill up over time, and we want them to push in whatever items they can. So we've got wither bones, wither skeleton skulls. So we'll let this run for a moment, and then we'll go in and we'll check the item hopper. Hopefully nothing is stuck in there. Okay, it's been roughly 10 minutes. Let's go have a look inside the absorption hopper, which is now sucking in all my everything. I hear you out there, internet. Don't take that out of context. But it does appear the only thing that isn't being utilized is the fluid XP. We need to figure out what to do with that. But other than that, this thing's working great. No mess ups. We have a handful of skulls, not many wither bones, but I assume that a small session sitting here at the farm while I'm editing. It's probably going to change that. Speaking of editing, I think this video has gone on for quite a while, so I'm going to get to it and release it all to you guys. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell while you're down there, and leave your thoughts about this episode down in the comment section. I hope that you all take care of yourselves. There is only one of you, and if you want to see more Stoneblock4 content, be sure to click the video on your screen where I fought the Ender Chicken. Until the next time, take care everyone. I'll see you later. Ciao. Just a little bit too close.